I'm going to show you my layout, what I've already done back here and over there, all the way around, and what I am currently working on and what I will be working on in the near future. So let's get started with this. About 2 to 3 months ago, I did a few videos showing you little pieces here and there of my layout, but on this one I'm going to take you all the way around it, give you a good view of everything that I've done and what I'm going to be doing in the future. This is the newest section of my layout. I did this about a year and a half ago, and I had to finish this part of it mainly because it's sitting over top of my stairs coming up to the second floor, and this is connected to the one area that I showed in a previous video of me building Leakin Creek. This town right here is Rockwood, Pennsylvania, but this is basically the outskirts of the city. This corner right here is a catch-all for all my loose items. But anyway, we go all the way down, and as you can see, the mountains in the far corner, that is the Leakin Creek section of it. And down below in the valley, I have an engine facility down there. I have a 2-stall engine house with a bunch of buildings and that I haven't yet quite finished yet. I could pull the buildings up and weather them, but that's all I need to do with them. And then the track, I just have to do a little bit of dirt. I'm not going to do ballast or anything. I'm just going to simulate it as dirt, you know, up to the level of the ties. And then I have a small creek that runs along through it. And the railroad, when they came over and built their right-of-way over here, they built a little culvert, and then this area right here was a little lake. And I have a lot of these are bar mill models, and a couple of them are Walther's models, and then some other ones. Let me see, we got a do I have any? Yeah, these are all bar mills over here, except for the welding house. This is a Walther's kit. But I have Heart Supply and Wicked Wanda and Mooney Plumbing, and then Crown Crate, and then have the grocery store and meat stand, and then Bull's Salvage, and then the other white building way in the back is a Walther's kit also. It's Lakeside Ice and Coal. From this side you can see the backs of all the buildings and the hillside going down into the engine facility. And then I have the bridge over there, and over here in the corner is where the hobos are hanging out. And I have an abandoned building that's an old Campbell scale model abandoned house on the corner. I'll get a little bit better shot of it. Alright, there's the Campbell scale model abandoned building, and then my hobos over here along the tracks. And then in the background I have the wholesale meat, Uncle Tony's Wholesale Meats. I think that's Uncle Tony's. Right there in the distance you could see the little sawmill. This area right here is Leakin Creek. This is the first part of the layout that I built. And originally I had it about 4 feet over towards the right more, because right where you're viewing right now used to be a wall that divided the stairs coming up there. You know, you came up 9 steps, then hit a landing, and then turn and then go up another 6 steps. And where that tunnel portal is where I had the wall. So that was over about another almost 4 feet. So I had to add 4 feet over in this area right here. And this is the rest of Leakin Creek right there. That right there used to be a wall that went all the way up to the ceiling. And that right there, I have to build a little bridge over there. I'm going to build a bridge, but originally this little building right here was Long's Coal, and I had an elevated track right there where a hopper would dump the coal. Well, I'm going to extend that track, go over top of Leakin Creek, okay, and then meet up with these tracks over here that go into the engine facility. Now here's a long view of the engine facility. I got this 2-stall engine house, and then right behind it where the stacks are is the boiler, and then a couple of sheds and paint shop, and I got a sand house. That's an old plastic sand house that I picked up at a train show, and then the rest of it is laser cut. And that one passenger car right there, it's a wooden model that I picked up at Metro Trains and Hobbies in Fort Myers. I think I paid $5 for it. And the bridge right there was a kit. Okay, that's Leakin Creek all the way in the back. I did the mountains with hardboard, and then I used all the same texturing material, Woodland Scenics texturing material, as I did on the ground cover. So, in order to match it up. A lot of the kits that I got were from train shows, and but most of them I built myself, like the DPM kits and the old I guess they're Atlas kits or whatever. And then there's a few bar mills over this way too, and some other laser cut wood kits, and then the XL Manufacturing right there is I believe that's the DPM panels that you could create a building from. And then this area right here is basically my industrial area. I do a little bit of switching right here, but not much. I'm more into running the trains around. I have 2 continuous loops on this layout, and basically those in the back are just flats that I've made, and the ones in front of them, the wood kits, some of them are bar mills and some of them are Foss scale models. In this area right here, all the track work is finished. All the way, all the way from the other end down through here. I just have to work on the buildings and some of the textures, ground covers. Oops. These are the buildings that are on one of my access doors. That's my next project. I'll be doing a video on those. And going on over there, and that's the rest of the buildings on the access door. And that's way back in the other corner of my room. And there's my NMRA gauge that I modified, and I know exactly where it is right now. And I have a little lift out section right here to gain access to the track that is right underneath, going to the back. That's one of the loops. It goes back behind underneath the access door, and right there where that void is where the access door that I just worked on. And all these backdrops right here. I'm going to pull these out. I'm not really satisfied with them. I put them up there to see what they would look like, and you know, they're good scenery, but they just don't fit right. So I'm going to pull them all down and redo the background. Okay, over here is where I did the hardboard again. I came all the way down to this area right here. I think I'm going to continue with the hardboard down a little bit further, and then I'm going to cut out the buildings and place them on some black gator board and put them in the background like that. Okay, and now this is where the other access door is, where I just finished doing a video on, and that building that's up on its edge, that's one of my next projects. It's a flat, well actually it's got two sides on it and an angled roof, because I had it sitting up against the wall before, and I'm just going to put back walls on it and continue the roof line going back. Now looking down from this retaining wall, I used to have a lot more tracks over here, and I just pulled out a lot of the scenery and redid this area. It was just too busy with tracks, and you could see the area back there where you could see the wood. I had that all covered up, and couldn't see the tracks in the back, so I decided I was going to taper that down so at least I could see the rail in the background, and the little trestles and the creek that runs along there. Okay, that building, it's, you know, just I think that's City Classics, and I just did one panel deep in that, so it's only like 2.5 inches deep, and this is what I have to work on, and I'll probably be working on this for a long time. I'll get you another angle of it here. Down on the bottom is Big Rock. Okay, here's the access panel that I just finished. I just have it laying right here. But on the lower level, on the low grade, is where Big Rock is, and I don't have that finished yet, and I'll head over that way in a little bit. But this area right here is unfinished, and I changed this a couple of times so far because, you know, my original track plan, it just didn't fit right, so and it really didn't look right, and it looked too crowded, so I redid it. And here's another coal dump that I have. I built this, and I got it on a little piece of hardboard so I could move it around and put it wherever I want to. And then here's the Big Rock bridge, and then I'm going to build scratch build 2 trestles to go over this little creek right here, and then right in this corner right here I'm going to build up the mountains right here. I have the creek. Let me move this out of the way. I have basically the water in there, but I haven't done any of the ground cover or anything, and then I tore out what I had, and I'm going to redo it, and then I'm going to put a mountain right there, and so you won't see these tracks coming around the curve. And I'm giving you a view of the my aisle right here, where I have the drop bridge that I did a video on installing the switches, and on the lower end where the box and the braces, that's where I'm going to have a dock and a water scene right there. And then we'll go past these tripods right here. This area right here is what's going to be Big Rock, and once I'm finished with doing everything else, basically right now this is my workbench and where I do all my work, and then actually that area right there back behind the tripod, I I have to leave that open, and I have to leave access because we're right above it, and I still have the sheet up there as not to get any insulation down on the layout. But if I have to access my air conditioning unit, it's right above there. So for right now the sheet's still there, but whenever I build that area right there, I have to make it so I could pull it out very easily. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll have more videos out like this with my progress. Check my playlists. Leave some comments down at the bottom, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe. And then there's a little bell right next to the subscribe button that if you click on it, there's a little checkbox that you could check off, and it'll inform you of whenever I have a new video out. And we'll see you, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.